we get our introduction. Children in Mexico City are being kidnapped at like 6 a day, basically.
Yeah, I think that part of the movie, though, I think it was just text on the screen.
It was.
Yeah. So.
While we were getting a montage of a bug flying in my face, a montage of.
I can't wait till the day we have
things.
enough episodes to actually create a montage of bugs flying in your face that you're swatting away.
I do not wish for this. But if it does happen and somebody else makes the montage, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
And then we get introduced to our main man, Denzel, whose name is John Creaky.
Wick. Oh.
Creaky was an interesting last name.
Creasy.
Creasy.
Yeah.
John Creaky. John Creasy. Either way, who is an alcoholic who is like a retired special ops dude.
He's seen some bad stuff. He doesn't feel great about it, so he tries to drown it in alcohol. So
yeah, and would rather just not exist. And his best friend in the entire world, who is
Christopher Walken.
Who would be my best friend in the entire world?
I wish Christopher Walken was my best friend.
Absolutely.
He
Absolutely.
Seems like a great, yeah, and especially his portrayal in the movie, he's definitely a ride or die for sure.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy in the movie.
He'd do anything for you.
Oh yeah, and
he's always got your back.
And Mr. Creasy doesn't have a job, but has some special skills, and so it started to rain. So if you hear the rain, I'm sorry.
The kind of skills that make him good at
bodyguarding, which is a thing that they mentioned like 2 or 3 times.
I was trying to make a quote from Taken.
I have a particular set of skills. Yeah,
but I just couldn't get it. So you know what I meant.
Then we get introduced to the I don't know their last names. The Ramos family. Yes, the Ramos family with their little girl Lupita, who they just call Pita. Who is Dakota Fanning, a young Dakota Fanning. Yeah. And they hire Mr. John Wick, Mr. John Creasy, to be the bodyguard of their daughter so that she can go back to private school and
why
be safe.
Why are John's always like the badass assassins?
Do you want to know my actual theory about this?
Yes, I do.
Naming people is hard.
Is it? It seems easy.
Well, okay, so this is definitely more of a Sybil conversation because Sybil is for people who don't know, I'm writing a movie. Sybil's naming all of my characters because I'm bad at it, and all of her names rock. And so I have a bunch of like unique, interesting names for people that are memorable, and otherwise it'd be like John or Eric. Daniel.
Yeah, so but that's one of the things. I guess John's. If your name is John and you're a badass, I guess. But in the comments,
John is like the classic tough guy name.
Yeah.
John, Joe,
G.I. Joe.
Yeah, exactly.
Joe's. Yeah.
So any name that starts with a J and an O,
you're pretty much it. You're him.
You're the it boy. So they hire him, and he goes, you don't want to hire me. I'm kind of an alcoholic. And they go, you're perfect.
That's okay. Like, are you okay with this amount of money? Great, you're hired.
Pretty much. He gets his own little room.
I think it's important to talk about what's called Mickey Rourke character, the lawyer, because he's the one that kind of like is like, look, just get somebody. It doesn't matter if they're good or not.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I barely cared that he existed until it was important.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be some of those characters.
So I guess it's important. So the lawyer was trying to tell the family that they needed to get a bodyguard and was really pushing for it. Played by Mickey Rourke. So they got him, and
wasn't his name Michael? His character's name was Michael?
It might have been.
I'm going to look that up because I'm pretty sure.
Look it up.
Oh,
well. Well, he looks that up. Mr. Creasy and Peeta get some time to learn more about each other. And Peeta really wants to be friends with Mr. Creasy, and Mr. Creasy straight up just tells her, hey, I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to be your bodyguard, and so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to guard you, and that's about it. So don't talk to me. We're not friends.
I was wrong. Jordan Calfus, I think, or something like that.
It's close to Michael.
Jordan calcification or something.
Another fun thing that I've learned as a tip for writing in general recently is to not, at your best ability, don't give people similar names.
Yeah.
Which sounds like it makes sense. Is
that something you struggled with in your naming schemes?
No, I just learned this from like I watched a lot of writing lectures.
Yeah.
For fun, because I'm sadistic. And one of the tips was, hey, by the way, if you've got like 30 characters, try your very best to make sure that you don't have like an Angela and an Amy and an Anna and an Anna. Give them all different names, different first letters of the alphabet. If you run out, start cycling. that was the tip.
You could take what's his name? Of course I'm blanking on his name. I think his name is Michael Schur. He creates a lot of TV shows. Mm-hmm. He created Parks and Rec. And Amy Poehler has a podcast, and he was on it, and he said that he just, in order to avoid conflicts with naming people real names and having issues with like, whatever, getting sued or blah, 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 he just comes up with the craziest names. I know you've not seen Parks and Rec, right?
No.
Okay. One of the characters' name is Perd Hapley. Perd Hapley.
You're about to lose your green tea to a cat.
So there's no issues with somebody's real name because Perd Hapley doesn't exist except for in that TV show.
Yeah, that makes sense. Which is another thing. Fantasy does it a lot too, where they just make up names, which Sybil is also very good at. So, anyways, so they're getting to spend some time with each other on car rides and stuff, and they're not friends.
Yeah, he makes it very clear. I am not your friend.
Yeah,
don't talk to me unless we have to. This is a
I'm
job.
here to protect you, and I'll protect you only.
Yeah, I'm not here to talk to you about how your day was.
Yeah.
And then at one point, I think she gets pretty mad about that.
Yeah, she, in the middle of traffic, like gets out of the front seat and goes into the back seat of the car.
Yeah, she's like, all right, be my chauffeur then.
Yeah.
So.
Then they go back to the house, and the mom goes, hey, I heard that you said that you're not her friend. And he said, do you pay me to be her friend, or do you pay me to protect her? And she goes, I guess I pay you to protect her. But I am coming with you tomorrow to drop her off at school. And they do that, and they seem to be getting followed, and so he writes down on a piece of paper what he could make of the license plate.
Yeah, and Peeta, you learn that she's very smart. You know what I mean?
And perceptive.
Perceptive. She notices that he notices, and so she starts to take account of the license plate as well, which will be important.
Yeah, except for the last number. She does not remember the last number.
So maybe we gave her too much credit.
She's like 10.
She's not great. She's not smart enough.
And then Creasy goes to her swim practice, and she's a little downtrodden on herself, saying that she's not like fast enough for anything.
Yeah, and she's not.
She's not.
It's true. But also, I think there's a scene that I feel like is important. I don't know if it's happened yet.
Yeah. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, in the middle of the night after the "Hey, I'm not your friend" talk, Creasy drinks a lot and then tries to shoot himself in the head. And the bullet doesn't fire, and so he calls his good friend Christopher Walken and goes, "Hey, have you ever had a bullet misfire
in the middle of the night, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning,
in the rain?"
In the rain, yeah. And he's such a good friend that he's not even like, what's going on?
He's like, hey, are you okay? He's like, oh, sorry, I'm calling you so late. He's like, oh no, I'm watching TV.
Yeah, he says I've been up. Yeah, come on,
solid friend, solid guy. we all need friends like that.
Yeah.
Please, nobody call me at 2 a.m. I don't wake up.
Yeah.
I don't wake up.
I literally go comatose at night. Like,
Yeah.
I just cannot be awake.
If you're having an emergency, call the police or 911.
Yeah.
Call me at 10.
Yeah, you might have to call me 10 times before. Like
Before your eyes even start to open.
If you're in immediate danger and you need help, it's going to take a while to get me up to answer.
If you're in emotional danger, I don't know. You probably have friends that are light sleepers. If that's the case, so call one of them.
Yeah.
Not that I don't want to be there for you, but I also don't want to wake up from a dead sleep to, which I won't happen. Just to let you know, won't happen. So don't try. Glad we all came to this conclusion together.
Yeah, we're on the same page now. Same page club.
So he asks if he ever had a bullet misfire, and Christopher Walken goes, "Yeah, well, you know what they say, the guns,
a bullet
never lies, or whatever." Which is a weird thing, but it makes sense in the context of this movie. So it's
I think
fine.
he just made that up in that moment, probably.
I thought they said it like one other time before.
I know. I'm just joking. He was just.
I like this headcanon, though. He definitely made it up on the spot, and I like that now.
It doesn't have any meaning until he says it.
Yeah. I like that. I like that more.
Yeah. And you can clearly see, a small detail, but you can clearly see that the pin hit the bullet. It just didn't fire. Because it has the indentation on the back.
True.
So.
That is true. So then we get from practice, and they're in the car, and she goes, "I'm just not fast enough." And he said, "Oh, you're plenty fast once you're in the water. You're the fastest one in there. Your problem is that you are the last one to get into the water, off the block."
She hesitates off the what's it called?
The gun?
Yeah, when the gun goes off.
Yeah.
At the beginning. So
yeah,
she flinches.
And so they start practicing that, and he tries to condition her and have her practice and prep her for her swim meet that's happening in a few weeks.
The training montage.
And I don't think that there's anything like too critical that happens between that.
Except for the fact that they're bonding as human beings.
Yeah. They have a great time, and they do become friends, and he helps her with homework and stuff.
Yeah, he's softening because, being there and helping her out, and he's the walls that he has built up his whole life from human connection because of the things that he's done and has seen in his line of work are starting to come down because she's she's very persistent.
Yeah.
And so
she's very persistent.
So the walls are starting to come down. He's starting to let another person into his life and into his heart.
Which is good. And then she ends up 3 weeks later getting first place in the swim meet from all the practice that they did.
Yeah, because that's the only thing that matters is winning.
That is the only thing that matters.
If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah, if you're not first, you're last. That's what he kept saying over and over. Yeah. He never said that.
And that one saying inspired the whole movie of Talladega Nights.
That is true. If you're not first, you're last. Second place just means you lost first.
Yeah, you're the first loser.
So she goes back to her dad and she goes, "Hey, I don't want to play piano. I want to swim." And he goes, "Well, tough shit. We have the best piano teacher that only lets certain amount of kids in a year. So you're going." And so she talks to Creasy about it, and he goes, "Hey, if you just burp every minute while you're in the middle of practice, and you apologize every time,
this guy
will get so besides himself with disrespect that he'll probably drop you." Which was their last sweet bonding moment before she gets kidnapped
in broad daylight,
and the police are in on it. There are 2 police cars that block the street.
Yeah,
and Creasy starts shooting at him because he notices something's up immediately.
Yeah, he figures it out.
He gets all 4 of them, which we don't learn until a little bit later. Where I was like, yes,
yeah.
But there's an actual shootout, and he gets pretty injured from it. And
we learned that the 4 of them are cops, and he's a cop. Now he's a cop killer. It's
all 4 of them are cops.
Kidnap kidnapper killer.
Yeah.
So.
And they get Dakota Fanning.
He's made to look real bad in the media.
Yeah. Yeah, and immediately they're like, hey, this guy killed 4 cops. We're probably going to arrest him once he gets out of the hospital.
Yeah, and then I think we're introduced to
the detective and the reporter, who are both working together on the kidnappings thing.
She has such a good moment when she starts asking questions in the press conference, like, wait a minute, aren't these guys dirty cops, basically?
Yeah.
She's like, wait, all 4 of these guys, aren't they like, don't they have connections to like the mafia or what have you?
Yeah.
So that was kind of a good mic drop moment.
Yeah, and so that's when we start to see that there's some dissent and some distrust in the police, and we also see that when
which is unfounded, because we should always trust the police because they always have our best interests in
every time
and in their hearts
every single time. There's definitely nothing else going on in the world while we're recording this.
Yeah,
or there was also nothing happening immediately after my vacation in Los Angeles ended.
Yeah. Because cops are good.
All cops. That's that phrase, right? Anyways.
That's the part that's going to get clipped and we're going to look like horrible people.
It's fine. There's some. I got a good community over here. If I called the cops, they'd be here in under a minute, probably.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, there's one that lives down the street.
I know, but good people. But you fit the demographic for that.
That is true. And so does basically all 10,000 people in this city.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What's the point of privilege if you can't use it every once in a while?
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
So I understand I have it. I just, well, why not use it to get a little further?
I don't see movie stars turning down their free gift bags. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Why would you? They're free. So I'm working on a video right now, which includes me learning how to paint miniatures.
Nice.
To make miniature sets. And the way I'm doing it is from a kit that Gamers Workshop, the people who make Warhammer, gave to the shop for free.
Awesome.
So that's a privilege right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm using that. I also might play Warhammer. Who knows? I might just make the figures and go, yeah, that's enough.
Yeah. You know what's funny? There's a line in another movie that we did with Christopher Walken where he addresses the cops as well.
He does.
7 Psychopaths. Do you remember that line?
I don't.
I'll do it afterwards.
Okay.
Because there's a word in there that I can't say.
So the family is working with private investigators to try to get their kid back, and the cops basically show up and they're like, "Hey, the attorney general gave us the ability to work outside the law on this one, like in an unofficial capacity," and they're like, "Oh, we don't want to work with y'all," but that's. But the lawyer, I think, their attorney was like, "No, I think that we could do that. That's fine."
Yeah, Jordan Kalfas.
Yeah.
Which
also shows the distrust in the police, just on like a personal level for them.
Yeah, but it's a proper sting. You know what I mean? They've got tons of staff with headphones on and the whole shebang.
Mm-hmm. And so they have this plan to go with whatever the kidnappers want, which is $10 million. Shoved in the back of a truck, put into place.
As they do, very specific instructions.
And then they'll get their kid back after they get their money. And it goes south, and the kidnapper's brother, his nephew, gets killed, and the money gets taken from them.
Yeah, they're robbed at the drop site. That's a cattail.
That's cat butt.
That's cat butt. Can't believe you showed that on the internet.
How dare you, Bonnie? So it goes south, and they don't get their kid, and then the kidnapper goes, "Hey, your kid's dead," and that's about that.
Yeah. The kidnapper calls up, and he's like, "Yeah, I didn't get the money, so say goodbye to your daughter,
or don't, because we're not going to let you."
Yeah.
And then Christopher walks into the hospital.
Yeah, he does.
And says, "Hey, man, you got all 4 of those cops. That's pretty good."
He drops the lore of him it really sets up how much of a badass Creasy is.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, what does he say? He says, "Hey, Creasy's an artist. His art is killing."
Yeah.
And he's about to paint his masterpiece. so that's kind of the into the John Wick movies.
Yeah.
When the gangster's on the phone and he's like, "I heard you slap my son." And then he just like, "John Wick." And then he's like, "Oh," and hangs up. That was kind of that moment. But with more words.
Yeah. And Christopher Walken also tells Creasy that the kid's dead. And that's why he's going to go apeshit.
Yeah.
So the detective breaks him out of the hospital. Not really breaks him out, but gets him patched up enough to get out of the hospital.
Yeah. He's not at 100% at all.
Mm-hmm. And
for the rest of the movie.
And Christopher Walken's like, "Hey, I'm gonna take you across the border, get you into San Diego where you can be safe." And he's like, "Or we can."
I've got work.
Yeah. You drop me off over at the crime scene. This reporter lady probably wants to talk to me. He goes, "Hey, whatever information you can give me, I'll get you more afterwards." And she goes, "Okay, this is what we know. Stop. You're gonna stop the recording. I love you so much. Beg for attention from Jarvis. He doesn't have a thing that'll turn things off."
I'll give you attention.
This little cat's been so needy all day. I want you to know she's always so needy. Look at her. You see this? She rubs her little face on everything and wants to touch everything all the time. And then this is where Creasy starts going on his murder spree. The first one is the dude who actually kidnapped her.
Yeah.
They find the car. And the guy goes, "Hey, he's not the one with the... No, he was the one with the debit card, right?"
No, not yet.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. So he goes, "Hey, I don't have any information. Don't you know who I am?" And he goes, "Oh, I know exactly who you are." Tapes his hands to the steering wheel.
Yeah, I think first off, he like pistol whips him early on and then gets in the car, holds him at gunpoint, tells him to drive to a specific spot.
Yeah.
And then we see he tapes his hands to the steering wheel. This is where it starts to get good.
And he starts asking questions and says that if he doesn't answer them, he's going to start losing fingers. And the dude doesn't really take him seriously, and so he cuts off a finger.
Man,
cauterizes it immediately.
Yeah, if I was in that position, I would fold so quick.
Yeah, I would have all 10 fingers. I'll tell you what.
You know what, bro? I believe you.
Yeah,
you kidnap me. You've got to do that, man. Trust me, I believe you.
I'm just gonna tell you everything that you need.
Sell out so quick.
So quick. And so he asks a bunch of questions, like who takes care of everything. He's like, "Oh, dude, I don't have any information on anything. I get a call and a place and a person, and that's all I get."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Bullshit. Tell me more."
Yeah, and then the guy loses a finger, and that really set the, like, when that moment started happening, I was like, "Oh,
yeah." You're like, "Okay, this is where it's going now."
Yeah, because he literally cuts off a finger, and then he takes the cigarette lighter in the car and puts it on top of the severed finger to cauterize it so he doesn't bleed out. I mean, I'm just like, okay,
this man is a professional. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So he gets whatever information he can get from him, which leads him to the next place, which is the nightclub. He kills the dude, by the way. He shoots him in the head and then sunsets the car over a cliff, which is crazy.
Yeah, that guy definitely dies, if not from the impact, from the fire.
That guy's dead.
That man is on fire. That man is on fire.
That man at least is on fire. So he goes to the nightclub, finds a dude, and he goes, "Hey, what can you tell me about this girl?" And shows the picture of Dakota Fanning. And the guy goes, "I don't know anything about that." And he goes, "Keep walking. Let's go into the back room." And starts going, "Tell me."
American dude for some reason.
Yeah. He said, "Tell me what you know." And he gets like 2 or 3 people lined up, right?
Yeah, there's a woman, and then there's that American dude, I think. At least those two.
Yeah, that scene was a little much.
So guys, sorry. This is the first time that I probably didn't watch the movie like before recording. But I've seen it so many times, so I was just like,
Yeah, that's fair. I think what happens is that he lines up a couple people in a room and he goes, "You person in the middle, tell me what you know about this." And they go, "I don't know anything." And he goes,
yeah.
"Now tell me."
I think there was. I think
like going
he was,
one at a time.
I think he was like a bouncer. You're right. He's like some low level bouncer, and so he gets off immediately.
She's in such a crazy position. You guys can't see her, but she is full belly up. Just rubbing.
She's finally getting the attention she's been wanting.
Yeah.
She's loving it.
Yeah. I want you to know that when she leaves, she will act like none of this happened. Because that's exactly how this happens every time.
Attention hog, huh? Mm-hmm. Never enough. Insatiable.
You start petting somebody else, she'll hop up. She'll go, "Hey, what about me?"
Yeah, where are my pets?
So he takes that one guy that one guy's there with the lady.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Hey, tell me, I really I need to know who your boss is." And he goes, "I don't know anything about my boss." We call him the voice, and I get a page that says, "Hey, someone's coming in," and that's all I know. And he's like, "Bullshit, man. You're fucking dead." Yeah,
and he stays true to his word on that one.
He does, and he goes, "No, really, I don't get any information. This is how I get paid. It's a prepaid debit card. I get $200 a week.
Yeah,
to take out.
That's crazy.
Which is the crazy. Yeah, you'd have to pay me way more than that to even consider kidnapping children.
I mean,
way more than.
I mean, I guess a question would be: is that USD or is that pesos?
Oh, it's Bitcoin. That real early Bitcoin.
Oh, okay. So not worth much at that.
So if that guy did not get killed right there, he would have
been living millions. He would have been chilling. He would have been set up for life. Okay.
Dumb joke. He dies, and then he talks to the lady.
It's funny, and the funny thing about that death is that I think he thought that he had a good rapport with the guy with the gun, thought that he was going to live.
Oh, yeah, he definitely did.
He seemed a little surprised that he was about to die. Once a few seconds before it happened.
Yeah.
I was like,
and then it dawned on him, and he was like,
not the brightest. Because the first guy knew, he was like, I'm just going to die anyways, no matter what. Like, there's no way I'm getting out of this.
Yeah, there's no way. No way he was getting out of it.
But
wow, what a baby.
Yeah, but this other American guy was not quite as smart.
So he talks to the lady, and the lady goes, I recognize her, but she's not here. I don't know who took her.
No, I think he said
she had some information.
No, I think she said no. Like she's here. She's alive.
Oh yeah. She didn't know who he was talking about. She goes, I can get you the girl.
What do you mean? You're looking for the girl? She's here.
So what do you mean you can get me the girl?
Yeah.
And she takes him into a back room where it's some other girl.
Yeah.
And like the good bodyguard that he is, takes them both outside, leaves her in the
burning.
Yeah. And
the burning club.
Yeah. And blows it up, and then calls the reporter and goes, "Hey, has there been another kidnapping recently?"
Yeah. That might've been our first Woman on Fire.
Yeah. Woman on Fire. This Girl is on Fire by Alicia Keys. And calls the reporter and goes, "Hey, has there been any other kidnappings recently?" And she goes, "Yeah, I think her name was Carmen."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Is your name Carmen?" She goes, "Yes." And he goes, "Okay,
I've got her.
Come pick her up."
Yeah.
And then shows up and says, "Here's the girl. Here's the debit card. The PIN number on it is 4747. I need to know who puts money into this account."
Yeah, find out for me.
Yeah. And so she does, because that's all the reporter's been wanting for a long time, is someone to just get information on this ring.
There's nothing better than when you have a job to do and somebody else does most of the work for you.
Oh, it's so good.
It's great.
And I don't even think he learns about... Oh, what he learned from the guy is that the attorney, Jordan, was a part of it. That's what happened. And so he immediately goes out and is like, "Great, I'm going to go find Jordan, and I'm going to take care of this problem." And all we get is...
No, I think that's later, isn't it?
Oh.
Because I think they get the guy from the convoy first, right?
Oh, yeah. He stakes out a convoy, shoots a rocket launcher at the convoy.
From some random person's window.
And then we get another,
So basically he finds...
the route.
One of the leaders.
Yeah.
They're part of this thing called the Brotherhood, And so, and it turns out he's like the police chief or something.
Yeah. Yes.
He's like,
yeah, that was the one.
Yeah,
He's like
that
a
one was
high
satisfying.
up police officer.
Yeah, because he lives on a compound. He's got bodyguards. He travels in a what's it called?
Oh, yeah. It was I remember what you're talking about now, because it was the line was something like, "Oh, he lives on a compound. He's like more protected than the president." And Denzel Washington goes, "Good, he's gonna need it."
Oh, he's like,
which
bet.
Is crazy.
He was like, he looks at the camera and says, "Bet."
Yeah.
and then of course there's his whole like getting all the weapons and stuff that he needs.
Yeah.
Montage a little bit.
Yeah, and then he goes to the compound and kills the dude, and then gets the information for the convoy.
He blows up the what's that called? Motorcade.
Yeah.
That he's a part of. He blows up the first one, so the second one has to stop where he is, and then he kind of just he gets rid of everybody from the motorcade and drives him to an underpass where they can't be seen by helicopters, strips him down, ties him to the hood of the car, and starts like he starts interrogating him.
Yeah. And the dude was like, "Do you know who I am?" And he goes, "Oh, I know who you are."
Yeah.
So I'm the president of this group. And he goes, "Cool."
Yeah. And there's this thing that they draw attention to that they always mention. He's like, "Hey, I'm part of the Brotherhood," and like that means something.
Yeah. And he's like,
him,
"Great,
which it doesn't.
Love it. Thanks for confirming."
Yeah, he doesn't care that they're part of the Brotherhood.
I don't care what gang you're a part of, dude.
And another thing that the people keep saying to him that he's just like, yeah, I still don't. He's like, okay, because they keep saying, I'm a professional. And he's like,
and they keep saying that.
Yeah, you're about to professionally die.
Yeah,
is I think what he claps back with.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one was very satisfying as well, because basically the whole time before he starts the interrogation, he has a little bomb connected to a remote detonater
that gets set off by a pager.
Yeah, it gets set off by a pager, and he basically starts the conversation with, so this is these. Do you know what these things are? This is a timer. This is the detonator. This is this. And he's like, this is inside your butt.
Yeah.
He's like, I've shoved this up your dirty, nasty, kidnapping ass. And he's like, and it's going to go off in
5 minutes.
5 minutes. And so, then he starts the interrogation, which was
that scene, by the way, takes 5 minutes.
Yeah, it should. Yeah.
No movie time here.
I love when they do that. And that's one of the reasons why I liked The Suicide Squad with James Gunn, because when it says 8 minutes earlier, it's almost exactly 8 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
So I like that attention to detail.
I do too. So he gets more information out of the dude that I do not remember what it was. And the guy also thought like, oh, okay, he can stop this bomb.
Yeah,
he wasn't stopping the bomb.
No. Yeah.
He was straight. He never said that he had a chance. He said, you're going to blow up in 5 minutes. Tell me what you know.
Yeah. And this was an important line too. Because after Peter, everybody thought that Peter was dead. He's like looking in her notebook and stuff like that. Or her mother is looking in the notebook. And then Creasy comes in and they have a brief conversation. And he's like, I'm going to kill everybody that had anything to do with her death, like her kidnapping and her death. And she was like, kill them all. And so that's why he's going for it.
He's a man of his word. Which then he got a call from the reporter that said, hey, he got they've like faxed him over the information or whatever. I don't know why he had the fax machine, but they faxed the information over or whatever. And he called the reporter and he goes, hey, can you get these translated so that I can be sure of what I'm seeing here? Because what he saw in there was money was being transferred into an account from Peter's father.
Ooh, yep.
Yeah. And they said, she said, yeah, I can check on this. Also, we know who the ringleader's brother is and where he lives.
Yeah, well, the lawyer's involved, and so he goes to make that pit stop first.
But he's already dead.
Yeah, he's dead and floating in his own pool.
Yeah.
at his house. So he's like, "Oh, that was easy."
Yeah, much easier.
He hit the that was easy button.
Someone else is in on this. That's great.
Yeah, but then he makes a stop at Peeta's dad's Peeta's house
and walks in and sees the dad. And
he sees the mom and he's like, "Did you know about this?"
Oh no! He walks in, sees the dad, is about to have the conversation with the dad, and the mom walks in, and he looks at the dad and he goes, "I'm going to talk to her. If you move, if you say a fucking word, I will take your life right here."
Really? Yeah.
And walks over to her and says, "Do you know about any of this? Were you a part of it?" And she goes, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. And then the dad speaks up and he goes, "I only did this for us. I was supposed to have. I was.
What did you feel in that moment?
I knew one of them was in on it. I thought it was her. I thought it was her, but it was because I thought I said something in the middle of the movie. I'm gonna feel bad about it saying it out loud, but I said either she's in on it or she's a bad actress.
And she was neither of those things.
No, because she actually did really good, especially in the second half. So that's why I feel bad, because I was like, no, she did really good after all of this stuff happened. But I don't think that they portrayed her very well in the beginning of the movie, because she seemed like an absent mom. And she was hovering over the whole bodyguard situation.
Yeah.
So it seemed like she was the one that was in on it. But she's not. She's a victim to this circumstance. And we learned that the dad only did it all because of his dad's debts to the attorney. And the attorney said, hey, everything will be fine and you'll get the kid back in 2 days. And that didn't happen.
Yeah, supposedly his dad had factories and had a huge business, but he wasn't very good at it. Yeah. It was all debt. And so
he tried to wipe out the debt with the attorney.
He tried to say that, like, she liked spending money, like part of it was her fault or something like that. He tried to victim blame.
Yeah, and so she turns to Creasy and goes, either you kill him or I'm going to do it. And Creasy instead goes, actually, I have a better idea, and pulls out his gun, takes the bullet that didn't go off on him,
all the bullets except
and
for
tells the dad, bullets know the truth, or whatever the line is, and puts it on the table and has him kill himself.
Yeah.
And said, I'll pray for you, which I think is a funny line.
Yeah. And then he walks away, and then you just hear the gun go off.
Mm-hmm. So
that was,
and then you go,
this is a moment too.
It was a satisfying moment, because why the fuck would you be like, oh yeah, to wipe out my debts, I'll stage a kidnapping and traumatize my daughter for life. That's a great idea,
dude. And when you look at all the characters in the movie, he's the worst piece of garbage in the whole movie.
Yeah.
So
for that specific moment, his motivation made sense. I will say, I will give him the motivation made sense. You know, if like you're sitting on like unpayable debts, and that's like looming over you, it's better than just, I wanted money. You know?
I don't know, man. Involving his daughter in that, I think is just irredeemable. I mean,
no, I agree. I'm just saying, at least the motivation made sense.
There's so many other, horrible ways to deal with that. Like, it's not going to be fun or easy, but you don't give your kid up for that. It's not worth giving your kid up. And so, I don't know. Yeah.
So he gets a call. No, he gets a call from the reporter, and the reporter goes, "Hey, we just get like they ran the information, and they found the brother, and she goes out to her car and basically almost gets shot from a dude who goes, if you value your life, you won't publish the pictures, of the guy's brother who runs the whole thing." And so she calls Creasy and goes, hey, I have the stuff that you asked for. I also know where this dude lives, with all of his family and his kids' names and his wife's name. Yeah. And you can pick up a copy of this morning's paper with his face on it.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, hard.
Yeah. When the guy was like, don't publish this if you value your life. And then she just looked at the camera and said, bet.
Yeah, no, I was like, damn, that's hard. That the next thing that happened was her going, pick up a paper.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like,
it'll be cool. In the morning paper.
I like that. That was neat.
Yeah. She was a good character. Her and the detective, all solid.
All solid.
Yeah.
And so he goes and finds the brother and basically holds him for ransom so that he can talk to the ringleader. And the ringleader goes, just name your price. I'll give you whatever what you want. And he said, I want you.
Yeah, he finds the brother.
He goes, oh, your brother wants to talk to you real quick. And walks over, hands the phone, and shoots his brother's hand off.
Yeah. He loses all his fingers, just like the first guy.
So
there's that circular.
And it starts to seem like he's going to kill the dude's wife. No, he does.
No, I think it's his mistress.
Probably.
But she's got like several of his children.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, man, I've got your family now. How does that feel?
And he said, why don't we trade a life for a life? Yeah. I give you the girl and I get to kill you, basically, is what he said.
Yeah. He's like...
And Creasy was like, you tell me that you give me proof of life and it's a deal.
Yeah.
And
he almost got mad because he was like, don't
promise
you dare
that.
lie to me.
Yeah, don't you promise that.
Don't give me hope that she's alive. He's like, I'm coming for you. And he's like, no, she's alive. He's like, pinky swear.
Yeah. And so they come up with
he does put her on
deal.
The phone.
Yeah.
He does put her on the phone.
Yeah.
No.
He asks for the name of the bear.
Teddy bear. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that proves it. And so they come up with a deal. Creasy goes to the mom and goes, hey, I need you to meet us at this place at this time. And basically says, I'm going to go up there and make sure that I get your daughter back. But if anything goes bad, you pull the trigger on this guy.
Yeah, he hands her the shotgun that blew off his fingers and was like,
yeah,
you know what to do.
And was like, are you okay? And she went, yeah, this is fine. He goes up on the bridge. He gets Dakota Fanning back. It's a very sweet moment. Yeah, and then she goes, are you coming back with us? And he said, I'm going home, which just means he's going to die.
Yeah.
And she goes back to her mom. They drive off. The dude's brother runs over to him, and then Creasy gets in the car, and then it fades out, and we get the detective found the brother and killed him, and Creasy also died the same day.
I think he literally dies in the car. I think that's what.
And the detective finds him the same day because it was the same day on the thing.
Yeah. He literally, because again, this whole time he's got unhealed gunshots, wounds, and he's just bleeding out the whole movie. Plus, when he's going after the brother and the mistress, he gets shot at least one or two more times. So he's not doing too great.
And that's the movie.
Yeah.
Hey, you.
How'd you like that episode? Did you like it?
You like movies? You like this one?
Do you?
You should subscribe to this channel right now.
Also, as well.
Yeah. You got friends? Yeah, you do.
Do you? Hopefully.
Show it to them. Show this to them.
Prove it to us you got friends.
There's other videos to watch too. Why don't you watch those if you're so cool?
Yeah, prove you're not a bot. Leave a comment.
Nerd.